For the first time, our competition with history since 1955, PSG and the first club wako UEFA Champions League final, and now then European Cup final. What's any opponent? Goal margin 5. E bin see that. The first time a PSG is a record no. A game obi bi odi na ni hwe bi ehun say PSG dominating Inter Milan. I want to be in questions at the end. Inter Milan supporters are disappointed in the club because of performance. Omutimi the man team my friend say Inter Milan. Oman bo mo humodin. By PSG mum am I a 5-star performance na no Saturday. So in as much as Inter Milan fans nani anje the performance no Ken the 5-star performance of PSG any ade na me pese me concentrate on. Na me acknowledge PSG bobuko no. Na me hwe adwuma Luis Enrique and the boys no etimiaye. Every aspect of the game, every details, bibia na ewo game nimbia no, it was all about PSG Football Club. Saturday, you analyze the game no. Me catch raw say, PSG for be dominate game no. Na Luis Enrique at the 7 key elements. Ano yusu ediama PSG a se okora game bi as 7 key elements no, the dominate your opponents. And so 7 key elements, your possession, pressing, fluidity and dynamism, attacking channels, wide play, positional flexibility, and a direct play. So now no Saturday, so we share PSG boboko na. So 7 key elements, and one no mu use ya. The dominating Inter Milan boboko no. And the board now your witness say Inter Milan, any PSG they no crab no ye better, na ye PSG boboko no. They no own crab or ye better. Na ye PSG bobuko no. So with the ball, without the ball, na nyina no akwa ye PSG bobuko no. So na no nsema na obi e kan ye say akwa one-sided game. Ye PSG nkwa na ebobo no. Ken, ye break game ne down. Inter Milan for no ye bobuko a. Enfa hu say omo ye defensive oriented team. Omo pese omo gibo obi pese omo build it from the back. Na me kasha nyankopon anyimonyam say ade ma PSG for ni show omo bebrebe no. And yes, a PSG attack na or attack no mu ade sunko. By how a PSG for a defender ye and a ma PSG for break you team no. So PSG e win 5 goals no based on how a no mu defend. And ya de change ye. Inter for netibo ni bia can on person mo build it from the back. Na build it from the back no. E ye omu hia time, omu hia space, no mo dia build it from the back. So the moment I be share Inter Milan na on struggle be a say omo time ni space no omo chiro. So you say game na se keno be kaya PSG for na di kan pass ye. PSG for pass ye na mbo ball ni go through. Our Inter Milan for half. You say game na say the first second PSG ball no ball ni go through. Na the game plan no omo person omo change Inter Milan for ni say omo ma Inter Milan form build from the back. Omo the pressure be su omo so. So team e friend say PSG decided say omo be man to man high pressing. And some man to man high pressing no a intensity and a commitment. And player no only the pressing, I am the hybrid role. Dembele. And so back I now know Kumasi City more. At the time Dembele could two bit to say the okwa ko trumi kana oko press it. Abra no target yansoma na Dembele akoto. Ah no be kasa na kwan be so na Dembele fa so press no. Na how yakasa ono na lead the press no. So adia me hu say PSG for decide somewhere and say omo ma PSG for Inter Milan for him feel comfortable on the ball. So Dembele operate as a hybrid player in terms of pressing. And what's that oppressing Yansoma? No oppressing Abrante friend said Bastoni. That was the job of Dembele. Then again, Abrante friend said Doué. Ebe presse Achebi. Kvaratskhelia ebe presse Pavard. Hakimi Ashraf ebe jina Di Marco so. Na Nuno Mendes eso so jina Danza so. So the plan of PSG was to press team a friend say Inter Milan. Ewo Mankasa half mpachoko wenim. O Mankasa half. That was the plan. Ya assign play bia say obi engine obi aso. So team a friend say PSG for Inter Milan for ain't me build it from the back. Omo feel comfortable. Yan Soma esha left her. Player no original left no eye Di Marco. Oni space ho ye close Di Marco. Se ocha right here Danzo na ya close no. In fin for na was ye locate you omo no. PSG for midfielders no abake up the press. Enti Yan Soma tunity a nanim ho Achebi, Pavard, Bastoni. ye press you ontimi mfa ball ne nkomo mo ohwe left a Dimarco ye press no ohwe right a ye press Danzo infinfin ho Chanoglu Barella ye press you so the only option for Abrante friend is say eye goalkeeper no Yansoma was to play long balls and long balls no how many players our PSG have eye just two forwards two forwards no eye Lautaro Martinez and Thuram. Lautaro Martinez in terms of high balls onye the best. So player ye ball long ball was here kwane ho no Thuram. And anytime you locate Thuram biano, na PSG fund the three players are close down Thuram. So kin Thuram eje ball na no, ubehu Pacho, ubehu Marquinhos, ubehu Joao Neves. No matter how close Abrante friends to Thuram. So game no, Thuram lose a lot of possession. So some ball long ball ne ko Thuram ha. Three key players from PSG closing down Thuram. Say no me lose balls no. That was the reason why na PSG for Emma Inter Milan for kwine. Inter Milan for about 45 long balls. Sa 45 long balls no, emun 49% na ya accurate. Dia kan no mo say no. So easily say na PSG for lose possession. Say na ball ne say Inter Milan force because of how na PSG for air press your man to man. Intensity then commitment. Say to dem impokra na PSG for no Inter Milan for need to me breaki eba mfimfin wa. Players someone fin for Inter Milan say on be control game no. On be distribute balls no. On be create chances ediama Inter Milan team no. Eye Chanoglu, Barella, and Mkhitaryan. And also so PSG decided say on use a structured block. Structured block eye say who defend here or structure be at the best topic. And also so Luis Enrique o fin decided say bon be mfimfin a. Ye use structured block. Ye be command to man. So PSG for no e man market Inter Milan for no fin wa. Chanoglu eje ball na onhu bebi o de beko. Aje so ohwe okoneti. Ohwe the left and also ohwe the right. So game ne be no. Na backward passes and na Inter Milan for abono eye bebre. Sideways passes eye bebre. Ken wey eye the full pitch. Hwede PSG die Inter Milan. Obia man market obia back. Wey a full pitch. There was a proper plan from Luis Enrique. Player or PSG players no Obiama marking Inter Milan for players nebako. So Inter for enye comfortable with the ball. A high pressing, intensity, then commitment. When you find a collaborative defending, that was the reason why at the end of the 90 minutes, you be Inter Milan say on shegu. Oh, nya chances ni bebre. Because of how Inter Milan for PSG for defending ye. Big ups to Luis Enrique. So obe kai picture bi ba abonten. At the time anam Mbappe wo PSG. Luis Enrique Mbappe to na o kire ne kwan yefa so presse ene kwan yefa so defend enu bi na odi aye PSG team no enu bi na odi aye PSG team no so hwe kwan omu nyina fa so defend hwe kwan omu nyina fa so make sure so mbe ka bom no me defend in numbers so ade abo omu pa ne hawa omu limit Inter Milan for omu press omu show commitment omu show that intelligent omu press ne ye well calculated and coordinated. PSG for now, my Inter Milan for no, and feel comfortable with the ball. No goal, 2 shots on target, 1 big chance. We're not just one nullify your team no. Because we're making sure so we press your mama miss our home na on bet media crab no. And we know me and him say one team of boy efe se bo ni kura no nimbo otimi control game no otimi attack pa no eye PSG bobuku no. And PSG for clear say obetimi attack through counter. Obetima attack through omo passing sequence. So anytime be a PSG for better say obetima be attack bia no a fluid structure. Sa fluid structure no e boa mo emo mutimi nya positional interchange. Sa positional interchange de ken picture yam dia to so hwe. Formation na e bae no na enye Dembele na obeka say o operate on number 9 rule. But mo attack ya Kvaratskhelia timi be hye ho. Dembele timi ko left, Doué timi ko right, Doué timi move ko left, otimi be mfin. There is player positional interchange. Omo timi interchange ana P Inter for no omo petima omo defend bi omo per man mark. So and am say PSG for no eye fluid. Omo timi interchange easily. Omo timi extend the pressure. No omo dia break omo timi no. And omo midfielders no etimi support because 3 midfielders ni no. In terms of early technicians no omo ye bia. Most especially Abrante friend say Vitinha. And Vitinha being the orchestra. E wo timi friend say PSG. Ono na je ball. Opegenitia, yenko high movement, yenko low movement. Mami nyusu say, mami change direction. Enti ball ni nyina so mo attack ya. Abrante friend say Vitinha no anu be gyina so a, on na be make sure say obe control game no Ediama team a friend say PSG bobuku no. Enti PSG for team no, how we rotate ye. Chomo front train no mo de chassis no. Kvaratskhelia shegu. Doué Eshebi. Dembele out 2 assists. So the front train no mo na chassis no. Obia involved in terms of goals. We and your chance a team structures no ye adwuma. E got to a time omo use omo passing sequence no mo de be create. Omo timi use counter. No mo they are breaking Inter Milan team no. So in terms of set pieces, collective play, everything about this game, tactical standpoint, collective BM team a friend say Inter Milan. Na omuntimi njina PSG bobuku. And you talk of individual brilliance. Apart from tactics, we collective play ni teamwork too. Individual brilliance. Na PSG for ne sa was bebre. Ese team a friend say Inter Milan. Chobi to say Doué akraketwe. Akraketwe receive ball. Or dane ne ho. Obetwon. Untimi predict no. Not their creative space e their man teammate.
Na what drama so say loyalty so ya dia killing into team no because no more 2 players will team no more prayer. But once the players prayer coach no wogidi woni ma kan obeti. E dey ntima Lautaro Martinez da so gina ball no me bobo no bi.
Ken
Dimarco dey ntima na obobo no bi. These are players omo nyina no omo nya fit. But it's the Champions League final. On be pressure coach as say obobo bi. But you say nanye.
Game na me witness here. Sanka Inter Milan for credit use 14 players for PSG be show.
Nkasele emfa.
Fana na emfa. Because ye bobo ken ye kase team be nya total dominance.
Oh, a one but one say first goal is Sanya Mabibre. Now no one say make say PSG say first goal mission Bibre. Because PSG she go enye den. Na wasia hye wa wo bepe kana ye den. Ate de ene obegu team no kra. Nti o mo hye but Inter she first goal na nka be ma game ni mo ayede.
And ball now almost shall see no. Plan was clear. Me see Obia Pons and Koshe full match ni bi. Me kra ma dwan ba so after the game na me say Koshe game ni bi. Referee ni ball na ben ano. Ana mo ball ne ko through. E wo pie Inter for ne half. Yes, referee ni ball the first thing. Na science no was
the science was clear. But Simeone Inzaghi na me ginidi no. E me wan say even second half mo ba na order so ne wa ma chebe ne Bastoni pass from the back say omunya go kick ba just na menti omase
o sa bon longer
there be omo because say o long na we players ni na through half na mo long sa na so obo no first half anyeye ne long o ko nyina say you locate to ram nko
that was omo game plan na one
so and Pavard so odini be gina again no Pavard boy untimi mo we pra ena ba ko no so ba ya no so Inter the say
PSG na no deserve sa credit.
I say award na the man na pay your friend say.
Oh, Tapri Odio.
Okay.
Yes on na was.
Prako no so. But we dey say so me prako na wokroma ne bi akese ne bi. Mo de mo no from pa. Na de na ade anya bi a mo de che prako. O mo nim say chief mate.
Ko number o.
Microphone number ta ko esa ko ayi asa ade anya no no. Ana. Na coach asa the prako ne man.
Ade ha wana.
Oh, enye sa bebre. Me gina ma nipa bebre.
Ene kwa me gina mu mo say dey also come.
No, me share game na me witness na individual brilliance, Doué, excellent. Bitinya calmness no Kvaratskhelia can the work rate attack on defense
na bakola kra na so she be 3 goals.
Na game na we so me say 9.
Na so me say 9.
Yes, omo me say 4 key chances.
That is
but there why you adwuma ni nyina no Luis Enrique.
Oh yes, that man.
Ana nipa so amani agem amano pa no Marquinhos, okay. Once Marquinhos buy no oni Blaise Matuidi mo time omo nyina influence you know mame bo PSG for abaso omo deserve champion.
Luis Enrique enam na no win no. We didn't say no me stories and me compare dey no kwa you Chelsea or Babedu Barcelona e prate poto no. Who's Obeka so do or ye be di ho nkomo ha. Ani ofi no ani bisa sa kwai o call ye no mo sesen. And also on Saturday bisa no say sesen. Oh when anima one shouldn't show sign bia.
On one in fact I remember that day.
Me part away close to 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Eha aya Barcelona na wako interview or Tobol in Tobol already Tobol mo. And say niam on no beka so pe no omunyama no.
Ono ope freedom
na ono aye ni team wa
hihye ni team
nkofo so beka se da bia
Chelsea the yenye ne so person but question
here a very good coach.
Oh kin
she team na o de ma Barca e ma mo de J
2015 Champions League
wouldn't say even first half of the season and say no. Na time I'm messing in them and Suarez mo come.
Omo pikia.
No, omushia short. Ebina washasha wahano.
Oh, okay. Let me continue with what you said. 2015 Barcelona did not start well. After Champions League, omo the 15th for league table they did not start well. Omo first 5 games, omo lose miensa, omo win Baku. Baku was the Girona last minute on goal from Girona 4 and omo share. So in the group stages, PSG were struggling. Now, you see, the mama pe PSG team no say. The last time the Musa team be air dominate or be from crank to crank. Barcelona versus Manchester United. They say Alex Ferguson hope. Also that game, it was a total dominance game.
Almost 35 minutes. Yeah. United won.
When they said
Katachi be firm.
Katachi. At that game, Barcelona ball bear 16 shots, 8 of them. 12 of them and they on target. Manchester ball 1 shot on target. That was the goal. Almost say.
Yes.
It was a dominance game. But wait, it's Barcelona the anymore.
We are not a Barca the no.
This could have been 10, 12. Come on, a different.
Na enkwano mu free chiri ba no kra no. Akwa the crowd World Cup run obese anje.
Share. At minute 80. Na a 4-0 and a Dumfries foul ball be counter attack. 4-0. And a Kivicha Kvaratskhelia dreamy free him free giddy obesine permanent ball need free him. Then a 4-0 80th minute ya pon on a normal day could be abijai akwane sprint be yi ball need free him. Said Denzel Dumfries is when Timia more born. It was because of the work rate of Kivicha Kvaratskhelia. Nuno Mendes has been a better left back in the second half of the season, not because he's extremely good, but because of the work rate of Kivicha Kvaratskhelia. Abra, Yewura, knockout stages. PSG ni Liverpool bobo. Ye game no. Na PSG about 24 shots. Liverpool ball 2 pe. Na Liverpool a show 1-0. Ewo Paris. 1-0 ewo Paris. Then right after the game, Dembele, Kivicha, boys ni nyina Luis Enrique, omu nyina so mo ba be Liverpool at Anfield. That time Liverpool, person omu sia ball. Whoever thought, look at the confidence say Liverpool a be share wo fie 1-0. Who ba Anfield or say me kwa akwa Liverpool. They went to Anfield. The rest is history. Washa Arsenal back to back. Nkofo na ball na omu ball no. Ken, boa possession wom, yan pressing wom, yan counter pressing a wom. The man has built a very, very good team. Look, last year, na obien himself PSG for Beko finals. I'm not for refi. Bayern Munich ne Real Madrid ne bo semi-finals. Na PSG ne Dortmund. Obien himself PSG for qualify finals. Me boa. Last year, the same Luis Enrique. Na ni team no na yehye midfielder Vitinha, Zaire Emery, Fabien Ruiz. Na enim wo no Ousmane Dembele, Kylian Mbappe and Bradley Barcola. Na me nyina in fact na nyame nko a nipa dodo na felt to say we're going to have a final of Paris Saint-Germain or anase bia PSG versus Madrid anase Bayern Munich. Only for us to go to the final PSG for lose here. It got criticized. It was normal because PSG in Dortmund, Obian Mr. Dortmund will be eliminated, but it did not happen that way. And I'm coming you come afi PSG for Beshi Timwa. Okoto Joao Neves say Ombe replaces Zaire Emery e wo midfield wo. Mbappe eko. Yenfa desire do Emra. In January, yenkofa Kivicha Kvaratskhelia Emra. Ken Nkofo no, they've had better team than Inter Milan right from minute 1. Ogo decided some press Inter Milan. Na Inter phone to me mo. Hwe ade a me blame coach ne kakra and say, "Men kan twem na men ka me next issue." Inter Milan no money born in Barcelona. Ken, me ba cho me boa. Inter ne Barca, they weren't a better team than Barcelona. But Abra game ni mu ye din then Inter Milan for year Barcelona struggled. they decided to go for long balls. Inti oyi Francesco Acerbi se kojina nim hobi. Inti ball no tum. Barcelona were struggling for those air balls. It got to some point in time, I felt to say the 3-back was not necessary. Now was almost started to say call long. Because clearly Marquinhos and William Pacho no more struggle, and especially now PSG 4 team no midfielders ni entia. What was the point? 2-0, we are down. You buy a stress. I mean, come on, some for Can me pamucho any diemwa. Say, but we say from a nakoya France for no as a nation. Or my fan say a project for Dembele for Ballon.
Dembele Ballon d'Or ni de. Baby a keka kwani de.
No say a project.
Once we see no.
I've seen it. Say a project for the French guys.
When was the last time a Frenchman GB?
Oh, Benzema.
Yeah, carry send Benzema.
But say Obobo France one day. And the way so no a campaign from the French guys and campaign from Real Madrid.
Madrid for Shechi.
Oh, Shechi. Na the metimia can say Pemi experience with the Ballon d'Or. Me patron come on, me name be di anya we are some mobia anya emotional some mobia. Me pese me no din komo bi kakra. Pemi experience with the Ballon d'Or. Ken, normally from August to December, Ayana players a tabo within and your money Ballon d'Or. Last year, play being on no nimbo from August to December. Mama from the last season, cry a change with Bellingham. Mebwa when Jude Bellingham started his career at Real Madrid, he was all over. Those players are not close to him. Maybe I make us a sad time now to the cruise feel for the more. But you are February no, and a Vinicius Junior Pejai. Sad time no Rodrigo goes Manchester City for Cascante. Rodrigo Cascante. He was just an ordinary player of Manchester City team anymore. But the heroes and necessary bia. Me can the Sudia say, Afi, ye start season no. Nan common jina Salah so. Ne jina Kylian Mbappe so. Ne jina Rafinha so. Me boa. Okay. You read the second part of the season. If we Salah, Mbappe, Rafinha, eba be di Pedri, Lamine Yamal, Dembele so. None of the three players now you go in the first half of the season, and the second part of the season. It is a say, in Komono, Pedri sounds way from Ababeya, Lamine Yamal, and a Dembele. Now, this is where the situation is going to be. Watch this. Say, I can't Nations League. And Chayebe started semi-finals na yo. And as Answaka the Club World Cup. Unfortunately for Lamine Yamal, Diaka obetinya ye bibi ewiase nyina be kai no the Nations League. Dembele advantage you wanna say. Obebo Nations League asanso about the Club World Cup.
But Nations League ebetimenya bibi won because Nations League say this is a be all.
You do say me.
All about club football.
Debbie
Abrafo
Europe from Nations League in India. In any case, semi-finals now Germany, Portugal,
Confederations
Spain.
Cup.
But I say
Confederations Cup they say
Ken Nations League or Europe
Euros we a confederation in team so. Champion Champions League every.
Oh, last year. And yet Euros in Lamine Yamal and Rodrigo Cascante came for Mudin Ballon d'Or no.
Because in
the season Phil Foden played well.
Because a major tournament.
I understand. But Nations League, I want more to
okay.
I want Feniagro. So 2 major tournaments. But the advantage Dembele, I want to say, Dembele bebo Nations League nibi, or bebo the Club World Cup nibi. Inti Dembele as at this stage, our advantage than the rest of his colleagues. However, now watch this. In common me person many among Foden say, Dembele no. Yeah, the numbers never judge na say yeah the day never judge born akasa born never judge.
Omo jeni na never judge no. Waje treble or perform year or someone numbers.
Okay. Numbers, Rafinha was 34 goals this season. Dembele was 33 goals.
34 33.
34 33.
One goal.
Assist 22 for Rafinha, 13 for Dembele.
Okay.
So in terms of numbers, say numbers na yede be ya. We na so. And I want to find to us because say a numbers game dia, then Rafinha is a bit ahead of Dembele. But this is where the problem is. Barcelona are not projecting Rafinha.
Omo de Lamin eba, omo de Yamin eba, de keka kone.
Say Lamin dia, then numbers de Dembele the numbers ne hwe ni bebre. Because the only argument in favor of Lamine Yamal is a ball nankasabo, which I say is a ball nobody. Lamine a ball ni chen Dembele bebre.
So you're surprised even Due to Lamine.
I know there is disrespect to Lamine Yamal. Omo yes no. I think a complete disrespect to Lamine Yamal.
Some of the young player na
Oh come on. Lamine Yamal will try young player. Obi all pray for Ballon d'Or. On say omo person we argument they say krano Lamine Yamal and Ben Dembele name Lamine Yamal should go and compete with Desire Doué. It is a complete disrespect to this guy.
I didn't make complete disrespect.
Can it season way yen share ball. Season way yen share ball.
Doué so perform against Liverpool.
Okay. Me say
these are big games.
Season ni mo Lamine
the final.
Lamine has been a bet.
Why better chain? Overall better player.
If so crowd be seven say Lamine Yamal design, I think it is complete disrespect to Lamine. It is not, the problem is that Lamine Yamal is chasing for the Ballon d'Or. Unfortunately,
chasing for the young. This is almost starting.
Me pamucho enye no asem. Say the myanka say me nkomo no say eba numbers a na asesa nkomo no de ko ball. Say eba ball so on asesa ko de ko numbers. Me say e numbers any ere ma Dembele dia. Rafinha has better numbers than him. Me ba what I say a ball so ball no person e di ho nkomo dia. Then I'll say Lamine Yamal has played better than him, but ni nyina mu no. Dembele won den e che mu mienu because he has won the Champions League.
Me that say.
And now Osanso Club World Cup. Osanso Nations League. Now Asama American dey chat one say. Say Mbappe ya ni din ya out so ko Club World Cup. Na o the Real Madrid je. No oji goal kini wo ho.
O de omo je dia.
Club World Cup no.
Na you hear ball na me who say the celebrate. One ball na o mo share first goal no. Hakimi. Big one. Yeah. O German ko be den.
Oh.
Maybe so say Mbappe anko be den.
Obe pass.
Na bi o ba fa no.
Mbappe ade we last year hwe o dey ma me interest na.
Big. So tell
me question na me be say no person we ya no ma me say Mbappe ekoje Club World Cup.
Enya.
Oh, me more scenario.
And dey mbam kra. Orijai.
I don't know.
O G Nations League je World Cup ningi na hwembam ensesa.
And that's sampa.
Or you go king.
No road draw yeden. Road relax or yeden or the year.
Mbappe so
the last part of the
na nti wo
ya Sikin me pa mucho ye beto aba no a.
Mbappe na
recency bias ko
French Football Federation na no. Omo say Mbappe na kasa. Ombo Dembele.
And I may say to fi say Mbappe be yesa. Mbappe was 43 goals this season.
And Mbappe ntimi ka say
No, I am creating a scenario to was 43 goals this season. Our numbers our numbers change our boys where you book. But why Oh, David Timmy Pacho say on leg no bon. Pacho too. Mbappe our numbers change our boys ni nyina. But the reason why we are not mentioning Mbappe is that one funny team na nya hwe na me say our window bi wo ha. Sa time na ye ba beto aba which is the Club World Cup. Into so Real Madrid ko je no ji go king wo ho. Plus ebi our Nations League sanso gia. Ya wa ha ube hu bisi.
Ene me da say. Biggie. Saudi o ba bia mo na.
Can as we speak there I am for Dembele.
Hey. As we speak. Na say na ye kasa na say me na okay.
I said I make say idea.
Ada da foforo bi be ba ma wase san wadwen.
Say aba no nye sisi na ye beto no.
Okay.
Nti ye bebo Adam matches ne tournament aka ho.
Kwa me se ntwentwen so na
ntwentwen.
And others in the conversation, Biaba says, Mbappe to me koje Nations League, Sam koje Club World Cup, Wabamana. The 100 in the Babam City, I intend.
Can Obama because Udi Dembele ne Mbappe si one man. Mbappe more to change Dembele. The more to change Dembele in the football world. It is Mbappe, and your numbers can carry and also your achievement to become one. It puts him in a better place.
So you think France for no best on Madrid? On Mbappe, or more project Mbappe for Ballon d'Or. All of a sudden, you say Yakoji, you know, Masano. On Bessa.
A bit messy.
Okay.
Can Inter Milan and the Paris Saint-Germain. Two coaches are, respectively, building good projects for themselves. And the Kokoshia. Uhe Inter Milan project now, the level they have got into. And your coach and friend says Simeone Inzaghi, and they share this particular project. Onya consistency any time, and or build the team no, and Baby do this kind of level. Champions League final no wakwa back that against Manchester City. It is coming here again at this particular stage. Now you want to do one few the experience now again, you know, and no with the same team. Any a chunk of this playing body, so consistency in the Juma because football and pain baby they say oh per results. I am not consistency in the technical team, any consistency in the playing body. Ebuama achieve that kind of results. I know so share. Emma on sati me come near my back. Emma near my sister. It's now you to do one few say. And got consistency na Inter Milan team nenya. Technical team nenya any bibiano. Ebe put you more up there. But unfortunately, and near my sister will finals anymore. Emma Paris Saint-Germain bobo no a first timer and so ababa before the trophy. Kenadia ba kwa me hu Inter Milan team ne ho ne say uni Inter start game now to me holding Inter Milan team ni year and paying bebre no the kind of changes our coach ne be ye no and times the game ne mfa Inter obi betimi about the game against Barcelona Fratesi move free bench eba be a lot of changes e wo game nim that is very true eventually omo win that particular game. But me share Inter Milan team na kita omo sesiana. A lot of the positions e wo park na so no. Say mu ya gain as a coach ni ye changes ah. You don't see players are omo equal quality to some omo be free no. I can only be confident talking about their defensive line. Nipa mi ensa na ebo e chiri honom no. Say who ye change now the Jan Bissek ba. Who ye change now the Stefan De Vrij ba. Ababa be shemu a. They have the kind of quality betimi match the standards of omo free no. But kin say who ye no ni free honom a. Look at their midfield. When things were difficult, I can't tell no glue film no. Aslan in Ebem. Aslan the performance and you're convincing. And better no glue there no. Etibana obebem and for difference beyond so nchada ma. Who ye player your friend said Dimarco film. Who is coming in? Don't phrase in Freema. Who is coming in? Omo any mu hono no. Lautaro Martinez and fit. But coach decided so obebonu because Emrantie mienu na te bench as strikers no. Only Gideon was Amrantie mienu ni mu. Marco Arnautovic, Mediterami. These are good players from clubs and wom. And on Bepiemu Inter Milan. But mo ba ye no. Any man ko ye mfa ma omo. Eti the Inter Milan team aye hu ye no. Just hold them and hold them very well. Utimi hold omo no man a good gamer. And paying baby omo be free bench beba no. And add a lot of quality to the squad. And an only play advantage to the Paris Saint-Germain team. Me kan say on Saturday no. Bona ye kwa he no. Inter Milan attack from the flanks. And who player ba kwa why it difficult to beat if you are flanksman this season e Nuno Mendes. It would when beto don fry so. Ontimi mo ma unya adwuma achieve the intended success. Paris Saint-Germain in every department of the game almost stop your flanks in the way, you know. How appear Inter Milan team be attack centrally. Omo make sure say Hosombe stop your move because all the ball e kwa confirm fin one marking this season in the Champions League. Player why a lot of tackles say won fin fin. Jao Neves. And obe stop you won fin fin. It's at the end of the day, channel be out be attack be an the problem be bro untimi nya adwuma and ultimately be useless. In komoya me di nyina na ken e center on one person. Coacher your friend is Luis Enrique. Ono necessary e dey abasobo ni nyina ma no. Paris Saint-Germain
o man pay ni bonabaso.
O deserve. Paris Saint-Germain started a project since Akata Sports Investment go to team in 2011. Can almost to team no, almost as to talk big name players. Some of the bat team. At that time, no more football no for entertainment purposes. Any attention. Players are no more mobile. From Zlatan Ibrahimovic nom, Thiago Silva nom, Javier Pastore nom, Ezekiel Lavezzi nom, any host of other players, big name players, Di Maria no money adie. No more say some of the mobile. No more pay the world's attention to say the Saudi Arabia for ne no. Ye top players naba. Na we ase adwene abaye so. Etu omo ye Saudi no munya attention ni wie ye no. E na afi omo se da bi. They have to do football business. Yankofa line o Messi. Yankofa Neymar Junior. Yanto Kylian Mbappe ni emfa mra. No mo mra meboa yen. Na football business na fei. Yantimi achieve a lot of success. And so continentally because domestically you achieve those successes. And almost fast our players in so do omo buy. Almost for a lot of managers and so do omo buy. But ni nyina mu no na niam anko yie. The highest point of niam anko yie ni nyina was when Kylian Mbappe was leaving. Kylian Mbappe the club's all-time top scorer, watch 256 goals and the Diama Paris Saint-Germain. And the Bisa Luis Enrique say, Kylian Mbappe ko. Almost prolific striker ko. Se si how be anything. Papa ne say on only few says Kylian Mbappe kwa the team ni be better without Mbappe.
Okay, so last
yes, last year, 2024 February, and we make that statement. If you want to man force you more help, men are not so say yemi and be adem bonnet actually. It's in party actually.
Madrid enemy.
And no more so to bet me aye. Yamani ye ni enhade. And no more that team na papa no. And na all build the project no. Domestically no dominating, but in the Champions League no more show more cry prepare na ken. Na ye difficult the amomo. It was about first 6 matches. It was group stages. Now Paris Saint-Germain team now we need just 2. He had to take them the last 2 matches in the group phase, and on the qualification to the knockout phase. And on share Man City, Okoshe Stuttgart. The rest has been history. And the young winning day, you will be a idea about Sobabamano. So I bought a home modern. I should share a project. And Papa, a friend is Luis Enrique.
English teams no share do saying.
Or share Manchester City, and or share group stages. Arsenal share no. Knockout on the shots na home and away. And no share Liverpool so.
But some shots.
And then Aston Villa.
As England for a show up.
Aye. Where you be? Oh, and I feel say Paris Saint-Germain are there. They've done extremely well. As we speak, he's the second manager after Pep Guardiola. Or the 2 different teams are the treble. And Paris Saint-Germain bo boko no. And found say Champions League no munji bi da no. No munji continental treble so da. And it has been achieved by coach Enrique Luis Enrique. History never call records beba because they are set to be broken. Obi beba beje Champions League ni mienu miensa 9 e dey ama PSG maybe beba. But history is never going to forget coach Enrique Luis Enrique because he was the first man to do it for Paris Saint-Germain when they needed it most.
Me that say aye bigi, ba bigi obasia wo na me medin komo kakra me so eche me 2000 no enche kura ebeba sisi obedale star 256 star 3 hash star 256 star 3 hash 44 na wabo but na no yen na nipa ne bi ase ewo Kumase City Mo na enya sem ketwa kra because I want a Champions League final ye di nkomo yi eba so because your mantel giant screen enso ho ye nua na mobile nyina nyame hira mo manya kwamba minim se games for beba ma so manya time na motime aba mo ho na obekan ho na enya sem ketwa kra against for ni bi no bebre na otimu se ba bi omo wo no obia woni interest na nano na me hu se sa Champions League final no na emu ebi mo bo for Ballon d'Or a che se me hu ba se ni bi o se derby se PSG lusu se de la me ya ma beje Ballon d'Or na me say enti reason ti o de support no enti images ni bi na wo hwe you say ye nua na brofo ni bi enso e ba ho seriously no mo nya kunwa kra ntena so what you say omo form and omo nyina eba mo ebehwe bi ye better kid bet for say kid bet for ye ni omo na yes adwumadi kese no kid bet ye better omo paying for no ase sanso and a Guinness Ghana Heineken Guinness Ghana and a Heineken ye better Heineken for